son.
Hey guys, Tish over here, how are you doing today? I was looking through the set of the Secret Forces, or not the Secret Forces, Secrets of Eternity more like. Both of them really are pretty decent sets, I have to say. However, one thing that really struck me with Secrets of Eternity, and I think it kind of applies to every archetype that has been around for a couple of sets. People are gonna go, oh yeah, this deck is doing really good. You know, it's pretty solid. You know, throughout 6 months of sets, it's pretty good, right? And I can keep playing this deck and get longevity out of this deck. I can commit to the deck when it comes out, and then I can just keep riding this thing until it crashes, right? Until it gets out power creeped by other decks. However, you don't expect Konami to facilitate this kind of problem, okay? Obviously, you shouldn't be expecting your deck to last more than 6 months, because that's stupid, because Konami would not make money from you if they were making you play the same deck for a year. You know, Dragon Rulers is a really good example of that. So what Konami actually do, if you see it, it's really subtle, but they actually kill a deck off by releasing cards which are not good enough. Okay, and if you see them in Secrets of Eternity, you actually notice that Burning Abyss, Shadows, and Constellars actually suffer this problem. They have both been, all 3 decks have been around since Duelist Alliance, and this is now going to be the 3rd set in the Arc 5 spectrum of sets that are going to come out, right? So you're going to go, oh, it's only been 3 sets, but that is 9 months. That is 9 months of sets, right? So, or 6 months rather, or even around that time. So realistically, Konami is now going to push away these decks and going to bring in something else. So the first one I want to show you is El Shadow Wendigo. Wind? Who cares about wind? Wind is a terrible attribute, so it must be a good card. 200 attack, 2800 defense. What are you going to do with that? Nothing, right? And then the effect is once per turn, you can target one monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by battle with an opponent's special summon monster. So you can't protect it. It basically stops a monster from being destroyed by battle by a very specific kind of monster. So if I tribute summon and attack, then it's like it does nothing, right? And of course it has the clause where it gets a Shadow Spell Trap card back to your hand from the graveyard. But that's the thing, no one is going to play Winds to facilitate this card, because this card actually has no benefit to you whatsoever. It really doesn't do anything. And the thing is, because it's not catered towards how the meta is going, Konami know this, and that's why they have released it this way, because no one is going to play this card, and people are going to notice that their Shadow deck is now going to decline in usefulness, because it's no longer catering itself to how the meta is changing. So Konami is not giving your deck the tools for which it can succeed from then on. So it's actually killing off the deck very slowly while releasing new stuff to make you go, oh, the deck's still getting support, it's still good. But El Shadow Wendigo is absolute bollocks. It's a terrible card, and the equip spell is not good. El Shadow Fusion is a hell of a lot better, and Shadow Fusion is really good because it's free. It gives you pluses out of your ass. So why would you play a card like Wendigo? It's not just Shadows that have to go for this. As I said, Constellar and Burning Abyss. Malacoda, this is kind of an iffy one, because some people don't mind this card too much. You know, level 6 is pretty easy to fit with the deck because it's just 2 Burning Abyss cards, and of course Burning Abyss plus anyway. But Malacoda is not a strong card. If you compare it to Virgil, this card, you discard a card and then you target a monster and it loses attack and defense equal to the discard. So if every Burning Abyss you have is 1500 attack or lower, then you're not going to be doing that much damage. I mean, this card is a 2700, is strong. If it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send a card to the graveyard from the field. It's like, okay, but if you compare this to the power level of the other cards like Dante and Virgil, which are much easier to summon because it don't require you to have to run a ritual card and then have all the ritual support, it's like, no way, I am never gonna run something like this. There is no way in hell. I can't even search it with Scum. It's like, there is nothing good for this card, so why would you play it? So it's clear that Konami is releasing new exclusives for a deck which is doing really strong, but it's not the kind of cards that you would want for the deck in the first place. You know, it's just satisfying the, oh, we should probably release a ritual, and then the next set they're going to release a fusion, and I can bet you that that fusion that's going to come out in the set after this, which will be Crossover Souls, that fusion will be absolute garbage. It will be the worst thing, and you will never play it because you'll have to run polymerization and you'll have to run all these crappy fusion. They might even release an exclusive fusion for it, but I can guarantee to you right now that that fusion card is going to be absolutely shit. So just realize now that your Burning Abyss is good, but it will get power creeped out. And I'm not going to discuss Cleathorts because Cleathorts have only been around for one set. So the next set will give them new stuff, and then the set in Crossover Souls, you'll start to see that the Cleathort support will start to go down, and Cleathorts will just get beaten out of submission anyway. So that's basically that. And the last one is Constellar Knight Diamond. Now this one is a good card. It's a decent card, I have to say. It gives the deck a lot of things that it can do that it couldn't normally do, but it caters itself way too much to dark decks. Okay, some people are like, oh wow, but Shadow is a dark deck, and Burning Abyss is a dark deck as well. So this card is like really, really good. It actually does stuff. Okay, so one, it doesn't deal with Cleathorts. You know, Satellar Knights cannot compete with Cleathorts right now because they're way too slow. Cleathorts will just OTK the shit out of you every single time. So this card does nothing for you, and it's 2700, so a skill drain disc will get over it for no cost whatsoever. Okay, and as we know, by Wendigo and Malacoda, this card will be coming out at the same time that Shadows and Burning Abyss will start to have a decline in the support that's released that will be good for it. So this card is coming in way too late. So the card itself is actually not as good as people think it is. And yeah, people are like, oh wow, we can finally get that Satellar Knight stuff. We can now get back in the game. And it's got a lot of good clauses on the card that actually give it a really good edge against Burning Abyss and Shadows. But the card is coming way too late. If this card was released around the time that Burning Abyss and Shadows were just getting started, Constellars would have such a good edge in the meta. But now, I could not give a fuck, okay? And that's my opinion on it. It's so shockingly obvious. Once you start to realize it, you start to find cards and cards and cards. You know, even like the Yang Zing cards, the new ones, they're not even that good. So you can just see that they're shifting, they are pushing decks away really quickly now. And you should be able to pick up on this kind of thing and drop a deck as soon as you notice it, because you will see that your deck will lose value, it will not get any better, and you'll be left with this deck which has really terrible support. But, you know, you can still shift off the deck to people, provided you say, yeah, but the deck's still getting support, so it's still good. And then they're like, oh, okay, fair enough. You know, and then you basically sell the deck off and you're good, and then you just pick up a new deck. So you can only play a deck now for 6 months tops, 6 months tops, before you start to see the value of your deck decrease. Of course, that's not including things like YCS's ARGs that can still make decks go up in price. But that being said, they may get 1 or 2 more tops, but it will start to decrease because decks will come and take over it. That's that. So thanks for watching, guys, and comment down your opinion down below if you think I'm just talking out crazy. But if you actually agree with me, comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and I hope to see you guys in a few days. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, the Thetcglover is out.